Okay, so from one TV program to another, let's move to horrible histories. So yeah, um, horrible histories. As a child, I read the books, kind of. As you know, I'm not very good at reading. Reading's not my forte. But horrible histories has been on. It's the second series now. I had the first series, and it's just one of the. Everyone would probably those people would agree with me that horrible history is one of the most bestest, fantasticest, one of the most brilliantest TV programs recent TV programs, one of the best things on the box basically on children's TV, horrible histories, because they take horrible history storylines and kind of act them and reenact them and do kind of scenes and different chat stories. It makes it really fun and exciting. It makes history lessons really fun and exciting, and it's good to watch kind of I like the kind of drama history kind of stuff, and so it was good to kind of see horrible histories doing that. But it was kind of good. The first series was absolutely fantastic. I love the first series. Then we get to the second series now. It's got more costumes, more moulding of noses, and more better costumes, more better songs, and more better things. Yeah, also you can go online. You can do all these other new things now. Go online. You can do all these kind of things. You can make yourself look like 3 different things. Make yourself look like a Viking. I look a pillock in this. I might scan them and that makes you can have a look at them. Yes, you know, like right here now you can have a better look at them. And we can look like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. Yeah, I'll photograph these for you guys. Or you can be like a gorgeous Georgian. So yeah, you can have all this kind of stuff. And you can make yourself look like different historical figures, which is kind of really exciting. I kind of love that. And it's kind of a good thing to do. Or you can go down to like come with me to the time sewers. You know, play the game, Horrible Histories game, and you get a little certificate like this, which says Horrible Histories. Congratulations to Toby McCluskey. You are now an awful Egyptian, and the password to the next level is foot. So, yeah, horrible histories. Yeah, it might be kind of cool to get some historical costumes in. That might have been quite cool, but costumes cost a lot. They cost like if you want any costume in Tobysblogs, it kind of costs £30 a costume. So that's kind of expensive. Back to horrible histories. So yeah, horrible histories, kind of really good things. My favourites are Elizabeth, because yeah, it's a pygmy. Yeah, it's a pygmy. Yeah, so Elizabeth I is always one of my favourites, and she's a very good monarch. I love Elizabeth. I watched the films as well, Elizabeth. Go and watch those, they're one of my favourite films. I love the Elizabeth the film, and Golden Age, and Elizabeth the character. I just absolutely love Elizabeth. It's good. Elizabeth's probably one of my favourite historical characters. There's probably loads of others as well. I hate the way that they portray Henry VIII as I'm evil, or I'll chop your head off kind of person, or like, oh, I don't like her, I'll just chop her head off, chop, 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 chop. Like, oh, I'm mean, I'm nasty, and it's like that really pissed me off, because as a person who studied history, and a person who studied Tudor history in depth, in a lot of depth, it's kind of annoying that they portray Henry VIII as that kind of character. That's only the only thing in horrible history that's really pissing me off, the way they portray that character, is because he wasn't mean and nasty, like, oh, I'll chop your head off, I'll chop your head off, I'll chop your head off. He wanted to have a son. That was his pure aim in life, to have a son. And his wives wouldn't give him a son. And so he divorced them. He divorced the first one because he thought, because he was married to his wife, that wasn't allowed. I've kind of explained this before, but I'll explain it again. And so he said, well, it's not lawful for me to marry my brother's wife. And so he divorced her. And he divorced her and also broke with Rome at the same time, and created the Church of England, which is the Protestant kind of way of living. And then he married Anne Boleyn, someone who he seduced, Anne Boleyn, and she wouldn't give him a son either. And so he chopped her head off because Cromwell decided that she had slept with her brother, that she had slept with all her other friends, and they all got their heads chopped off, including her brother. That was another thing that really made Henry VIII go, no, chop her head off. Incest. Not a very nice thing. And so, yeah, so it wasn't Henry VIII's fault that he chopped her head off. He loved her. And only because all this evidence was brought before him that he kind of chopped her head off. So he wasn't really nasty and mean. And then he kind of went to Jane Seymour. He loved her. He was the one that he always loved. And then she gave him a son. And then she died, which made him really sad. Then he kind of got angry with Anne of Cleves because she looked like a horse. But that's not really his fault, more Cromwell's. And then he kind of married Catherine Howard. She was 13 or some really young age. And so I'm like, or 16 or something. Like, how was like, can you really blame her if she went off and had sex with other men? It's like, he's an old man. And she's really young. And so she went off with other things, which is treason. So he had to cut off her head anyway, even though he liked her. Catherine Parr, she survived. And then he chopped off other people's heads because they were traitors or they wouldn't do as he said. Or that they wouldn't recognise him as the supreme head of the church. He cut off a lot of people's heads off for that. He was a really weird monarch, I would say. He was up and down a lot of the time. And so, yeah. So he wasn't as mean as they portray him on Horrible Histories. So Horrible Histories aren't always correct, by the way. They haven't mastered his character completely right. So, yeah. Horrible Histories. There's a history lesson for you there, so I'll see you. Love you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this little blog about horrible stories. Goodbye. Go and watch it Tuesdays at something that's written on here. Tuesdays at 5:15 on the CBC channel. Watch it. Horrible Histories. Or watch it on iPlayer. You always watch it on iPlayer. Horrible History iPlayer. Bye bye.
Terrible Tudors, gorgeous Georgians, slimy Stuarts, more Victorian, woeful wars, ferocious fights, stingy castles, daring knights, horrors that defy description, cutthroat council, bull Egyptian, vicious Vikings, cruel crime, punishment from ancient times, Roman, rotten, rank and ruthless, cavemen, savage, fierce and toothless, groovy Greeks, brainy sages,
Mean and Muslim Middle Ages,
gory stories, we do that, and your host are talking rats. The past is no longer a mystery. Welcome to
Horrible History.